Welcome to Double Play TV, and this week in sports history, where we dig up the most memorable and the most obscure sports highlights that took place in the past this very week. I'm your host, Swenson. We get on our way in 1892 with the longest boxing match under modern rules, when Harry Sharp beats up on the Frank Crosby for 77 rounds in Naoki, Illinois. That's 5 hours, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds of hot glove action. Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber, knocks out Red Berman in 5 rounds for yet another heavyweight boxing title. At the time, Louis was known as daring to the point of dementia, a term that hasn't been used to describe a celebrity until the sane and lovely Britney Spears exposed her true talent to the world. In 1960 of this week, the Dallas Cowboys almost did not become the NFL's newest expansion team. Redskin owner George Preston Marshall vehemently opposed the team's addition to the NFL. This was due in no small part to the Redskins' monopoly over the southernmost United States. And Marshall didn't want any other team cutting into his team's fan base. But never count a good cowboy down. To ensure the birth of their expansion team, soon-to-be owners Clint Murchison Jr. and Bedford Wynn purchased the creative rights to
Hail to the Redskins!
The two Texans would threaten to refuse the rights to use the song if they stood in the way of the Dallas expansion. If it wasn't for Murchison and Wynn's low-down and dirty little strategy, the Cowboys would never have been born, and we wouldn't have the Cowgirls, T.O.'s Crying, or the Romosexual Fan Club. In 1964, a Louisiana high school basketball team wins a game 211-29. This score is to date the most lopsided victory in the history of the game. A lesser known fact, however, is that they were playing against a team of retarded kids. Darryl Strawberry hits 26 home runs, 97 RBIs, and his wife's nose, causing her to file for separation. Darryl. The MLB's game-winning RBI statistic is dropped from baseball after 9 years of use. But for the record, Keith Hernandez of the New York Mets holds this record, as well as the record for the best porn star mustache in baseball. Iron Mike Tyson, Kid Dynamite, the baddest man on the planet, also known as Malik Abdul Aziz, goes on trial for rape. He pleads.
I sacrificed so much of my life. Can I at least get laid? You know what I mean? I've been robbed of most of my money. Can I at least get a blowjob?
At the height of his career, Atlanta Braves relief pitcher John Rocker is suspended from Major League Baseball for disparaging remarks about foreigners, homosexuals, and minorities. Also, during the interview conducted by Sports Illustrated, Rocker mocked Asian women and referred to a teammate, Randall Simmons, as a fat monkey. Rocker was later suspended for the rest of spring training and the first 28 games of the 2000 season. And this brings us to another edition of Oh Yeah, what have you done since then, John Rocker? After a tumultuous 2000 season with the Braves, Rocker's performance would steadily decline under off-field scrutiny from the press and the ridicule of fans around the league. 4 teams, and 3 years later, Rocker would be released from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and his big league career was officially kaput, but not before becoming yet another in a long line of athletes to try and fail at making the leap from sports to the silver screen. Yes, in 2002, Rocker would play the bloodthirsty villain in the highly ignored horror comedy, The Greenskeeper. Surprisingly, Rocker would not receive any Oscar nods. But more recently, Rocker has been in the news for his social activism, appearing on CNN and Fox News promoting his Speak English campaign. That's right, our favorite culturally insensitive reliever is at it again, advocating for all foreign-born Americans to ditch their native tongues and speak the King's English. As bigoted as this may sound, Rocker insists.
It's basically a campaign to encourage people to support the sustainment of the American culture and the American heritage.
Fortunately for us, Rocker's agent was able to convince him to abandon his first social action initiative, which was Diss That Dark Skin and Be White campaign. Man, what an asshole. That's all for this week in sports history. I'm Swenson. Join us next time right here on Double Play TV.